What's going on, Urban CEOs? Taria Visionavant here, and first of all, welcome to the show. Today on the show, we have a very special announcement. So we're going to do things a little bit different on this show, but do me a favor. If you are watching this, no matter what platform, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Roku TV, please do us a favor and shout us out, okay? Shout us out, leave a comment, share, let somebody know about what it is that we're doing. Now, if this is your first time ever seeing this show, again, my name is Taria Avant, and I am the founder of Urban CEO Network. And this show is called As Real As It Gets TV. And our goal with this Real As It Gets TV is to bring you guys in front of some superstar CEOs, whether they are CEOs in business, in corporate America, or whatever corporate you live in, whatever country, or if they're CEOs in their households or CEOs in a community, CEOs in their wealth and relationships. We want to be able to bring them in front of you guys to give you guys that information. Now, Urban actually stands for unapologetic, real, bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. So if you are watching this on any one of our social media platforms, I want to know which of the acronym for Urban do you stand for? Unapologetic, real, bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. And then also let me know why you think that's shoe. Urban CEO, unapologetic, real, bold, action-oriented, non-conforming. But look, before we get into some major announcements, what we're going to do now is take a quick commercial break, and we shall be right back.
Hey, guess what, y'all? As Real As It Gets is on Ice Cold TV Television Network every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern on any Roku TV, any Roku device, or you can tune in at IceColdTVTelevisionNetwork.com. Don't miss it, baby.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Candy with an E, and I am here to give you today's announcements for Urban CEO Network. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Candy Martin. I am a media marketing strategist with Candy Enterprises, and I help businesses be visible socially by making sure that they are consistent on social media. So you can hit me up at 678-990-0216, or again, check me out, www.candyenterprises.com. So let's get to today's announcements. So Urban CEO Network is having the ultimate, you hear me, the ultimate conference coming up. It's going to be November 14th and 15th, and we're going to be giving away prizes daily. Okay, so we're talking about cash, digital gifts, webcams, microphones, all kind of things that can help you get your business to its next level. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to go to www.urbanceonetwork.com and register today. There are only 100 seats, so make sure that you go and register. Now, do you want to promote your company in front of thousands of people? I know you do. Okay, so I need you to go to your email and send an email to promotions@urbanceonetwork.com. We have all type of packages to actually fit your budget. So regardless of what your budget, we can help you out and get your business promoted. So again, send an email to promotions@urbanceonetwork.com. So those are the announcements for today. I am your girl, Candy with an E, the VP. Okay. Now you can check me out, CandyEnterprises.com, and let me help you be visible socially. Holla.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Taria Vision Avant, and I wanted to just jump up here real quick and tell you, have you heard about the Urban CEO Network? Darling, if you have not heard about Urban CEO, then you need to make sure that you jump on board. Right now, we have a special so that you can actually be a part of our Urban CEO Academy, which is our monthly membership program, where not only do you get exclusive access to events, discounts, and things of that nature, but you also get training that's designed to help you to grow your business. Right now, you can join for 7 days for free and see what we're all about. All you need to do is go to urbanceoacademy.com and check us out. For real. Like, we're the fastest growing organization right now, designed to help men and women that come from the urban community that want to grow in business, that want to grow in their career, or you simply just want to be able to grow in your life. Urban actually stands for unapologetic, real bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. So come over here, check us out, join. We want you to be a part of what we're doing. 7 days free. You have really, it's a win-win situation, so you can see what we're all about, all right? So join. I look forward to seeing you guys there. I'm going to talk to you later. Deuces.
Hello, Urban CEO. My name is Kawana Coco Stanley, and I help women start and grow a profitable cleaning business. And if you want a free strategy session, you can reach me at workwithkawano.com. That's workwithkawano.com. Kawano is spelled C-O-W-A-N-O. And I'm doing your quote of the day. And this is coming from Jim Rohn. The quote says, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And my reflection on that is, no matter what it is you want to do or you're passionate about doing, whether that's business you want to do or something personal, you have to take the actions you want to get to the results you desire to have. If not, you're going to find an excuse and always have a reason why you're not doing that you want to do. So be mindful what it is that you want to do and start taking the actions to see results and not excuses. Again, I'm Kawana Coco Stanley. I help women start and grow a profitable cleaning business. And if you want a strategy session, you can reach me at workwithkawano.com. Have a blessed day.
Will Roundtree, Twyla Portis, Carla Beatles, Orlando Haynes, Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Andrea Williams, Dr. LaTanya Jackson, Kitten Gray, Brian Keith Bailey, Isabel Rojas, and then we have Micro. We have Annette Bryant, as well as Dr. Stevie Aisha Mills. What do all these people have in common? My name is Taria Vision Avant, and since 2014, I've helped more than 5,000 speakers, coaches, and network marketers to write books to grow their business. Look, this is the best time, more than ever, to actually finally get that book done. So if you want to join my free masterclass and learn more about how I can help you to get your book done, go to abookin30days.com. I hope you join me. We actually have an intensive book camp coming up very soon, so I hope that you pull up on us and join me. All right, so abookin30days.com, and I'll see you there. Deuces. What's going on, Urban CEOs? Taria Vision Avant, and we are here with another one of our VIP guests. Now, I hope you guys have been enjoying our ambassadors. As you know, you've been getting those quotes of the day as well as the announcements. Now, make sure you plug into those announcements. Like, you don't want to ignore the announcements because they're very, very important. And many people have been asking, like, how do I join the Academy? Simply go to urbanceoacademy.com. And I don't know if y'all know, but you know we giving away some red bottoms, child. Red bottoms or $500, okay? So in order to be a part of that, you must be a part of the Academy. So go to urbanceoacademy.com today. But you know what? I am super excited about another one of our VIP guests. You know, my thing, y'all, is to continue to bring people that I feel can have an impact on you guys, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your career, your finances, your relationships, your health and wellness, all that stuff, okay? All that stuff. But today we're going to be talking about getting in front of the media, darling, okay? And so I have an incredible guest. Let me bring her beautiful picture. Y'all, she has done some amazing things. So first of all, Latoria Lemon is the CEO and owner of senior publicist of Lemon Light. Lemon Lime, you know what? And I just told her I was gonna get it right, but Lemon Lime Light Media as the founder, and then also the founder of Let's Talk Teen Talk. Through Lemon Limelight Media, she serves as the lead publicist for entertainers, nonprofits, faith-based leaders, and corporations. Y'all, she also does brand management, with some of us need a little bit of that done, okay? So I hope y'all got y'all pens and papers. She attended Clark Atlanta University and majored in public relations management and minored in history. She's also a native Houstonian, darling. Went to Westfield High School, and although she works all over the world, y'all, she loves being from Houston. So I'm so excited. She's got more accolades, y'all. We're going to talk about it. But y'all, I'm so excited to bring to the table none other than our VIP guest of the day, the beautiful, talented, and incredible Houstonian, Latoria Lemon. Let's give it up!
Thank you. What an introduction. I love it. I need that introduction every morning.
Well, child, listen, you know, one thing I've been trying to do better is making sure we give people their flowers while we are here, because, Lord Jesus, we have seen so many people pass, and we don't think about highlighting them in the way. Now, Latoria, I know you gave me some props on that intro, but I know I didn't do you justice, because you've got an incredible story. First of all, thank you so much on a busy schedule, taking the time to be here today. But for our urban CEOs that are here, if you could just share a little bit of how did you get to where you are today?
Wow. So, a lot of my career has been based on.
Uh-oh. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, you just froze up.
Uh-oh, can you see me now?
Yeah, well, let's try to do it again. I'm going to ask that question again. I'll just cut it. All right.
Okay.
Well, Latoria, I know I did not give you justice with your introduction. So if you could do us a favor for all of the urban CEOs watching, tell us a little bit of how you got into the position of owning Lemon Lime Light Productions, right? Oh, did I say it?
Media.
Media. And everything else that you've got going on. Tell us how you got to your place.
Yeah, definitely. I started doing PR when I was 19. It was definitely on accident. I moved to Atlanta when I was 18 to go to Clark Atlanta and study radio. And long story short, I applied for an internship with a really well-known media outlet. And at the time, that media outlet was similar to like a shade room. And so I did not get the internship, but literally the next day, the publicist over that media outlet called me and said, "Listen, I think you have a future in PR." And at that time, I didn't know what PRR stood for. And so I was like, okay. And so keep in mind, I'm 18 or 19 years old. And so she told me, "I have a project I want you to work on, hand in hand with me, but I'm also going to let you spread your wings and fly." And so I met with her, went over the project, and it just so happened to be a project for Essence Magazine. So I was working with them for about 6 months. And I was handling like all of their college engagement in the southern region. And so that gave me my start to PR. And then I graduated college in 2011. And I had been working for several PR companies and worked on a lot of major accounts. And, there was a couple of people that reached out to me and said, "Hey, we need you as our publicist." And I was like, "Oh, you got to go through the companies that I work for." And literally they were like, "No, I don't think you understand. We need you as our publicist." And so I was like, okay. And so literally 2.5 months shy of graduating from Clark Atlanta, I started Lemon Limelight Media.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm back. You come on, technology. Okay, so you said that you had left Clark Atlanta and started Lemon Lime Light Media, and then it kind of.
Right. It has not been a peachy, squeaky clean road. I started Lemon Limelight Media in Atlanta. And so, again, I was 3 months out of college. I didn't know how to run a business. I knew how to be a publicist, but I did not know how to run a business. And so I stayed in Atlanta for like 2 years and did PR. And then I decided to move back to Houston for personal reasons. And I was like, you know what? I did PR in Atlanta. Maybe that's just going to be a thing of the past. And somehow, some way, I could not get away from it. And so when I came to Houston, I was able to just kind of apply some of the tactics and things that I learned in Atlanta in Houston.
Okay, well, good. Well, I lived in Atlanta for a while, 10 years, and then I've been here in Houston now. It'll be going on 3 years real soon. I love it here in Houston too. A lot of people always ask. All right, well, good. So, what's I think what's really powerful about your particular story, Latoria, is that you haven't really kind of been all over the place, right? You literally found a lane and you made it your thing. Um, First and foremost, what would you say that you love most about being in the publicist world?
You know what? I feel as though it's a gift, right? And so for people to trust you with their vision, to trust you with their brand, that takes a special type of gift. And so I'm always honored, even when people just think of me, even for opportunities like this to interview me. I never put myself on a pedestal. I never put myself above and beyond anybody else. I sometimes have those moments where I sit and I reflect on just what I've been able to do in my career. But again, being able to execute someone's vision is that just warms my heart when I sit back and I see clients and they're extremely happy or joyful, to be featured in or on a magazine or have a billboard or on TV or whatever the case may be. To me, that it just warms my heart. It really does.
That's good. I love that. And that's a big blessing. I always say, if you're in it for the right reasons, I feel like God will always take care of you on the end, on the end as far as taking care of your bills and the things of that nature. So that's a blessing. Now, this is another thing, because I've had publicists that I've worked with on a personal level. And then, of course, we've brought some in to work with Urban CEO Network. What is some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about the role of a publicist?
You know what? A lot of people get PR and marketing confused, and it's easy to get confused. I get it. I learned at an early age when I started PR that there's a lot of differences. PR is publicity, and marketing is sometimes paid advertising. Sometimes it's sales. Sometimes it's the look of the brand. It's getting the brand to different people. But in terms of PR, you're primarily handling publicity. And then I also think sometimes people misconstrue that everyone's PR journey is the same, and that's not the case. Like, there may be someone that I begin to work with that have been in the industry or been in their industry for a long time, and so they may be able to get more press and publicity quicker than someone that just started their business 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So the process is different. And then I think another thing is people have to understand that PR is a crock pot, right? So when you think of a crock pot, I don't eat meat, but I know I cook meat for my family. When
Uh-huh.
you put a roast in a crock pot, you got to put your onions, you got to put your seasoning, you got to put all the stuff, and you let it slow cook. It's not a TV dinner. If you want a TV dinner, you pop it in the microwave and it's quick and easy, and it could be gone in a second. But this is something you really have to take time, let it marinate, make sure that you have goals and strategies that make sense.
And I think that's really important. And I mean, honestly, I feel like most people need to understand that's with anything. Starting a business, it's not, you don't want fast. In fact, you don't want something to be so fast, because when it comes so fast, sometimes you lose it so fast. So it's about building that stable foundation when it comes to your business. Now, another thing I would like to ask in the world of, bringing on a publicist, what are some of the things that as a publicist, and you've been doing this for, the amount of time that you've been doing it, what are some of the things that you want your clients to kind of like have already in place to make it easier for you?
Girl, that's a beautiful question. And reason being is because a lot of times people think once I hire a publicist, I got everything I need. I've had clients before. That have, asked them off the wall stuff like, okay, well, I know I got this to do today. Do you mind watching my child? And I'm like, oh, I'm not a babysitter. I don't babysit. I want everything good for your family, but this is not my role.
Yeah.
Definitely have a foundation and have a vision. A lot of times people with business plans, people with businesses, I've found that they don't even have a business plan. So what blueprint are you using to structure your business? Everybody says, oh, well, I got this magnificent idea. I have this magnificent product and I want to get it on TV. Okay, well, there's steps that you have to take. I'm not just calling CNN and say, hey, I got a client that just started their business yesterday at 2 p.m. You mind putting them on? No, there's certain things that you have to have in place. What does your brand look like? Is your brand consistent? Do
Mm-hmm.
you know how to illustrate your brand? I've met so many people where you just ask them a quick sentence about their brand and they're like, they're fumbling. And I'm like, did you start the
Come
brand
on.
or did somebody else?
Right.
Like what's going on? And then also have confidence in your brand. I am all for, hey, there's moments as business owners where we're like, oh Lord, should I still be doing this? or I'm having a rough day. Like, is this for me? But you really do have to have confidence in your brand. When someone asks you about your brand, if you don't make it seem like it's the best thing since sliced bread, then who's gonna believe in it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes. Hold on. We got to give her a little sound effect with that one. Drop the noise. Come on with it. Okay, look. So Latoria. Okay, so my next question is this. Let's talk to the people that maybe want to get into the world of being a publicist and PR, or maybe even people that just want to understand like a little bit more detailed of what it is that you do. So for me, I believe that honestly, like, okay, when you're hiring a publicist, of course you're going to hire them based on their connections. But if somebody wants to get into the world, like, how do you build those relationships? How, like you said, CNN, let me call it CNN. Like, how does one learn how to go about getting into those spaces and having those connections?
That's a good question as well. The thing about it is, this entire thing takes trust, right? I have clients that have to trust me. I have media outlets that have to trust me. Along with trust, it takes creativity because it's one thing for me to pitch a brand. I can pitch a brand and say, hey, we got new cell phones that are out right now. Can you put them on your TV show or your radio show? But it's another thing for me to say, hey, this cell phone right here, people are utilizing it as care. A lot of caretakers are utilizing this cell phone because they have to get into contact with their family members that are doing XYZ. So now I just created a story surrounding the actual product. So the creativity, it goes a long way. I mean, I never just somebody and say, hey, I'm working with such and such, put them on. Like, that's not how that goes.
Right.
There's days as a publicist where I have to think as a journalist. There's days as a publicist where I have to think as a client. For instance, what was that? Last year, unfortunately, when Nipsey Hussle passed away, I work with a lot of rappers, a whole lot of rappers. And there were people that were calling me all day long who, they knew my clients were friends with Nipsey Hussle. So all day long, I was writing statements on behalf of my clients. So 9 times out of 10, here's a little secret, okay? When you see on celebrity pages or on their website or whatever the case may be, it may say, Kim Kardashian said XYZ. She probably did. She may have said 10% of that, and a publicist wrote the rest of it. Knowing and understanding your client, there's days where I have to sound like I'm a rapper from Atlanta. There's days where I have to sound like I'm a rapper from the north side of Houston. Because I know my clients well enough to know the words that they're going to use, how they're going to structure a sentence, but I still polish it up and make it sound good. So again, that takes trust. That day the day when Nipsey passed away, I probably wrote 6 or 7 statements for various artists, and I had to sound like something that they would say. And so again, that takes trust from my clients. When I see my clients over something, I say, hey, I wrote a statement on your behalf, and they say, wow, this looks good. For me, that's a high-end compliment because that means I literally have taken the eye to look at them, to observe, to hear how they would say things, or to see how they would come off. And I never want anybody to come off as corny or unauthentic or whatever the case may be. So again, you think like a journalist, you think like your clients, you think of opportunities that make sense for them. There's some clients where I know for sure I'm not going to pitch them to certain outlets because that's not their style. Like
Right.
they why would I pitch a Slim Thug to Hype Hair? It doesn't make
Right.
sense. I mean,
Right.
what are people going to talk about?
Okay. Now, okay, next question. And I'm just asking all the types of questions that I know that I feel like I used to be confused about. What is the difference between having a publicist and a manager? Or is there a difference?
Oh, absolutely. So I work with a lot of managers, and I always say, that's my counterpart. So, for example, today I was meeting with a manager in regards to a client that I've been working with for probably the past 6 or 7 months. The client did not have management, which made it very tough for me because I'm pitching the music, but the music doesn't have structure in terms of what the manager would bring to the table. The managers are 9 times out of 10 responsible for getting the music, and this is just in terms of music related clients, but getting the music to the radio stations, having those important conversations with executives, getting distribution deals. That was another thing we talked about today. How do you get your music distributed? That's not my job. That's a management job. A manager has to have the contacts in the lane of the music industry that even though I may have it, I'm not stepping outside of my lane to say, hey, why don't I go over here and put together a whole tour for you? That's not me. That's
Gotcha.
managers. Managers have to have the relationships with like the promoters, the venue spaces, the radio stations, the executives, and so forth. And so for me, my relationships are primarily with media outlets, and maybe even people that I can tag team with management or an agent to get endorsement. So that's primarily the difference. A lot of managers will tell you, I don't like to do PR. I don't want to do PR. I don't want the radio stations to say, hey, can I get an interview with such and such? Because guess what that does? After they say, yeah, you can get the interview, guess what happens? You have to send them talking points, bios. You have to send all the stuff that a publicist would do. And those are things that I'm looking at. What is the angle of this interview? Are we just getting up there and saying, hey, check out my new music, and then we're going to leave? No, let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about some of the things that interest the actual artist.
Gotcha. Okay, so if somebody is interested in getting into the publicist world, do you recommend, I mean, you went to school for it. Do you recommend going to school, or what do you recommend would be like I guess you could say the first tips that someone should follow with getting into the space?
So, I mean, although I went to school for PR, here's a little secret a lot of people don't know. My focus in school with PR was nonprofit PR. And obviously, I do nonprofit at times, but my focus now as the owner of Lemon Limelight Media is we primarily do entertainment. We work with a lot of brands. And so the reason I was able to get that insight is because I interned a lot. I was like queen of the internships in college on top of doing everything else you can think of. I was very active on campus. I was, running pageants. I was over the radio station. I was over a lot of things and on the dean's list. But at the end of the day, intern or volunteer. I've seen so many people pop up these days, and I use the word pop up as it is. Pop up and say, hey, I'm doing PR. And it's like, okay, I take nothing away from that. I take nothing away, and I want you to be successful. But I also want you to know and understand that you just can't do PR because you got 10,000 followers on Instagram. That doesn't make you a publicist.
Yes.
You need to actually intern, volunteer, maybe even get a mentor. Mentors have helped me so much in my career. I have 3 industry mentors. I have a personal mentor that I've known for a while, and being able to get insight from them. And also, you want a mentor that's busy, of course. One of my mentors, she's mentored me since I was 20 years old, and I'm 31 now. And literally, she has put me in places where I was like, wow, I didn't even dream of this. But because she knew my work ethic, she knew that I was capable of it. So mentoring, getting a mentor, please never, I don't care how far you excel in your career, never feel like you're too good to have a mentor.
Come on now.
And then also once you get to a certain level, be a mentor. I have about 20 mentees, and I'm very, very much on them. Reason being is because this is not an easy industry. I sit in many meetings a lot where I'm the only woman. I've sat in many meetings where I'm the only woman of color, and I have to convey a message from all these guys that aren't even in the room with me. You know what I mean? And so you got to have tough skin, but you will. I tell people all the time, there's many days I am the teacher, but what I love the most is being a student.
Amen to that. Amen. We always got to continuously be a student. There's a book I like to read that I read before called The Slight Edge, and he says either in life you're either growing or you're dying. And so as long as I'm living, I need to be growing. Okay, Latoria. How do you want people to get in touch with you? We got your Instagram and your website, but what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am definitely email me. My email address is Latoria, which is LATORRIA at lemon, LEMON, lime, LIME, light, LIGHT, media.com. So Latoria at lemonlimemedia.com. I'm also very active on on Instagram. So, I get a lot of DMs. I always tell people, be patient with me because I do get a lot of DMs and I'm trying to be as active as possible. But Instagram, my email, those are the two ways that people normally get in contact with me.
Okay, good. I'm gonna follow you on the gram, so follow me back, okay? All right, now. Okay, so 2 more questions. We're almost done. Yes, honey. I know, right? It went by kind of fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Urban. We have an acronym for urban, and it stands for unapologetic, real bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. I'll repeat it again, but I want to know, of those, what do you feel fits you best? It could be one, it could be some, it could be all. So again,
right.
Unapologetic, real bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. Which one and why?
So let me just say this. All of those are really, really good. Okay? All right. It's kind of hard to pick just one, but if I had to pick one, I would say action-oriented. Oriented, because the reason being is because you got to put some action behind who you are and what you're doing. You meet so many people, or you've seen people before where they're like, hey, I do XYZ. And then you look on their Instagram, or, you get a referral and they're like, oh, we haven't really seen what they say they do. Mm-hmm. And so put that action behind it. Execution is one of my favorite words. I believe in executing, and obviously executing and action, they go hand in hand. Yeah. So that's what I would describe.
I appreciate that. And the final thing is for our urban CEOs, Latoria, do you have any last imparting words that you would like to share with our community?
Absolutely. So my parting words would be, if you have a dream and you have a vision, execute. This year has taught us that what we know may not be what it always is. This has been a very different year. And I use the word different because we could use a whole lot of other words to describe it. But it's been very different. But what I can say is this year has birthed a lot of new ideas. And those new ideas have taken action. It's taken vision, and it's taken execution. Take your ideas serious. If you don't take your ideas serious, someone else will.
You better go ahead with that one. Yes, indeed, somebody else will. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Latoria. Thank you so much. I mean, she was incredible, right? But y'all make sure y'all follow her on the gram. Make sure you hit up her website, Lemon Lime Light Media. I got it.com. Hello. Make sure you hit her up, y'all, and let her know that you had a chance to see her on As Real As It Gets TV. And if you have any additional questions for her about being a publicist, the PR world, if you want to get into it, or if you need a publicist, all of my folks that's following, y'all know y'all need to get y'all some publicists. Going on out there and get you somebody that works best for you. So make sure to reach out to Latoria. Y'all, my name is Taria Vision Avant. That's another edition of As Real As It Gets TV. I will see you guys back on the next show. Okay, how you doing? And all right, deuces.